Yakutani, who is busy working.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
The back and forth has got me so messed up. Don't ignore. The signs we've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way, find a way out.
And what's up, chat? Man, what y'all doing? How y'all coming? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling, man? I ain't gonna be on this stream for long, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be only on here for a couple of minutes. I'm finna go leave in a couple of little seconds or whatever, you know? But how y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? I want to play some quick Sims, bro. I don't know, I'm in a mood for Sims. A little mood for Sims. I'm not gonna lie. I was having fun playing Batman. But I'm in the mood for Sims a little bit, you know?
But I can't ignore the feelings that I found in this whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking?
Sorry, guys. Give me a little second. Man. Shit. I hate this. Chat, you want to know something that I want to do with y'all? I really want to watch one of those animation recaps with y'all. But the only reason I haven't really did it and I just let it play is because I be dead tired whenever I have them play. I promise you. I wish I can watch. Let me see if there's one that we can quickly watch.
Working in a room in the molecular pharmacy laboratory.
I have a bunch of them queued up because they was playing earlier. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't really watch none. Fuck.
Akutani pursued the pharmaceutical field and succeeded.
What's one like 20 minutes?
Just 36 weeks, Universal Technical Institute can train you for
Yeah,
a career
we're
in
not
welding.
watching that.
If you like,
Let's be real.
While in the library, college student Naofumi Iwatani finds a fantasy book about four heroes.
Bro, what is it?
The spear, sword, bow, and shield. Naofumi is summoned to another universe with 3 others to save mankind from the Waves, a series of demonic invasions. When partners are
Wow.
assigned, nobody joins SHIELD hero Naofumi, believing him to be the weakest of the four. However, Mine, a member of the Spear Heroes party, offers to join Naofumi to help him train. Soon afterwards, Mine steals his belongings and accuses him.
Is this that
Naofumi's
SHIELD
denials
hero
are ignored
anime?
by all, and he becomes an outcast, shown kindness only by Erhard, the weaponsmith who realizes
Bruh,
he's
is this that
innocent.
Shield anime?
Embittered
Shield
and
hero
enraged,
something?
Naofumi begins
overly
scrounging for
powered shield
materials
hero?
and learns how to upgrade his shield with resources he finds in the world. After fighting away some thugs who wanted to rob him, he realizes he can't upgrade without experience or strength. Approached by slave trader Belokis, Naofumi is brought to a slave market, so a slave may gain XP and fight for him. In the corner of the room, Naofumi finds a demi-human slave girl cowering in a cage. While
Wow.
Belokis offers Naofumi a high-level wolfman, Naofumi instead buys the much cheaper Tanuki girl, Raftalia.
One sec.
Placing a slave crest on her prevents Raftalia from betraying.
Man, I gotta put my hair in a ponytail. Damn, fucking hair. So,
Or disobeying Naofumi without feeling intense pain, while also linking shared experience gained by one to the other. Raftalia's reoccurring nightmares of her parents' death in the first wave have deeply scarred her, making her initially hesitant to kill. Both leave the capital for the small town of Loot for a mine to collect valuable ore, but they're attacked by a high-level dog monster that wounds Naofumi, the same beast type which killed her parents. The monster's appearance sends Raftalia into shock. Seeing her fear, Naofumi tells her to escape while he buys time. Confronting her feelings of regret and helplessness, Raftalia summons up the courage to kill the beast. Naofumi confronts Raftalia, promising not to leave her, and she agrees to help him defeat the waves so other children won't suffer as she has. Later at dinner time, Naofumi decorates a toothpick
Why he ain't
flag
get
to
the
make
Beast
the
Man
flag of
too?
Japan, a sign of his intent to someday return home. After a month of leveling up in preparation for the next wave, Naofumi unlocks a huge variety of transformations for his shield,
This
each with a
nigga.
unique ability, while Raftalia rapidly matures into a young adult woman. To determine the time remaining until the next wave, Naofumi and Raftalia visit the capital's cathedral and its dragon hourglass,
Bro, I
which
just feel
measures
some
the
type of
time
way.
between waves.
That
Much
he
to
left
his chagrin,
dude.
they also meet the other three heroes,
why he
who still scorn him
only
and view him
he
as a
lead a dude
liability.
and only got her? Why he
Raftalia
ain't get
wonders
both?
why
of
the
them?
other heroes despise Naofumi, but he refuses to tell her. The next day, the wave begins.
Or he coulda
While
just
the other
freed both
heroes
of
and
them.
their allies rush to defeat the main force,
my
Naofumi and
opinion,
Raftalia
personally.
head to Loot to help evacuate the civilians. Some knights arrive to help, but initially disregard Naofumi's orders. Though when they realize he's trying to protect the villagers, some choose to aid him. The others leave to join the other heroes, who defeat the main boss and end the wave. After the battle, the villagers thank Naofumi for his help. The hourglass resets, starting the countdown for the next wave. After repelling the wave of catastrophe, the heroes are treated to a state dinner, which Naofumi reluctantly attends. Mine informs Motoyasu that Raftalia is a slave, prompting him to challenge Naofumi to a duel for her freedom. Despite Naofumi declining the challenge, King Altcray Melromark takes Raftalia, forcing the duel. Despite Motoyasu's higher level, Naofumi's many shields and superior tactics give him the upper hand. But Mine openly uses wind magic to trip up Naofumi, letting Motoyasu claim victory. When Altcray reveals Mine is his daughter, Malti, Naofumi realizes they planned his defamation. With Raftalia's slave seal removed, Naofumi's burning hatred within him unlocks the Cursed series. However, Raftalia slaps Motoyasu, condemning him for his false chivalry, and positing that if he truly wanted to free slaves, he'd have some freed men in his party. Entering the arena, Ren and Nitsuki openly condemn Mine's interference. Incensed, Altcray would allow such blatant
Damn.
cheating. Raftalia
Okay, I'm
returns
trying
to
to follow
Naofumi's
what's
side,
going on.
reaffirming
This is
her
a little too
loyalty
fast.
to him, and the Cursed series subsides. The next morning, Naofumi eats a breakfast sandwich Raftalia made him, finding that he can finally taste food again. His confidence and hope renewed, Naofumi is now assured that Raphtalia is truly his ally. In another land of diplomatic travel, Queen Morelia Q. Melromark learns of the duel at the castle. At Beluk's tent, Raphtalia asks for a new slave seal as a show of good faith to Naofumi, while Naofumi buys a gotcha monster egg, which later hatches into a Philolial, naming her Philo.
First off, what? Why did she get a? Why did she actually willingly get a slave tattoo? What?
She immediately imprints on Naofumi, reaching adulthood in a few days due to a skill of his. Visiting Loot Village, Naofumi is shocked by Motoyasu in mind, declaring the village to be under Motoyasu's rule by royal decree. Naofumi, aware of the town's money limitations, attempts to block the heavy taxes Mine plans to levy. But Morelia's envoys arrive to deliver a message to Mine. Disturbed with the contents, she challenges Naofumi to a race to possess the village. Naofumi joins when Philo comically kicks Motoyasu into the air and rides her against Motoyasu's dragon. The soldiers use magic to cheat in Motoyasu's favor, but Naofumi still wins, forcing Malty to relent when Morelia's envoys expose her cheating. On the way back from loot, Naofumi and Raphtalia stop to rest. The next day, they're surprised to find Philo transformed into a little girl with wings. Naofumi brings Philo to Urhar, the weaponsmith, who sends them to the dressmaker,
she was basically
who in turn
pointless.
sends them to the
Everything was
magic shop
pointless.
owner to make the magic clothes for Philo. However, the magic shop owner needs a new magic
you gotta go
gemstone
out your
for
way
her
just to
loom,
cheat.
vital to
Like,
make the
come on
magic
now.
thread. A pretty textbook fetch quest. Escorting a wealthy trader who will help his party, a bandit group attacks his wagon and are defeated. When they float, they'll go unpunished due to Naofumi's defamation. He extorts them into giving him all their loot, or Philo will eat them. Impressing the trader, Naofumi learns new skills, and is introduced to new contacts, even gaining a warrant to mine a quarry at a discount. As Naofumi's party and the magic shop owner search for a magic gemstone, they find an abandoned alchemist tomb, housing a cursed seed, but find the cursed seed is missing. After fighting creatures through the tunnels, they locate a gem vein, where Inoue has made its nest in. After they kill the beast and obtain the gemstone, the magic shop owner helps Philo make the magic thread, which in turn lets the dressmaker make Philo a dress that transforms with her body. Tasked by the trader to deliver herbicide to a village, Naofumi's party discover the village overrun by a monstrous plant. They learn that the seed from the tomb is what the spear hero, Motoyasu, used to end a local famine. But the sprouted plant came alive and began attacking the villagers. With Motoyasu gone, they turn to Naofumi, who defeats the monster plant and alters the seeds to be safe. With the villagers unable to pay him for the seeds, he takes them to the trader for sale, who gives him a job to deliver merchandise to a hot springs village. Staying the night, Raphtalia is jealous of Naofumi and Philo spending time together, but learns of a special gem a local bird collects. Raphtalia ventures off to get the gem for Naofumi, but she's joined by Philo, who wants the bird eggs. On the way, a silver boar attacks and chases them to the nest, knocking the jewels off the cliff and trampling over the eggs. Enraged, the two kill it and sell the body, taking the proceeds to buy a special tool which they give to Naofumi to use in his gem work. Learning of a mysterious disease spreading through
They
a village,
just
Naofumi's
clearly
party goes
just
to
killed the
investigate
whole
and finds out that
species
the
just
disease
because they
began
wanted
after
to get
sword
this
hero
niggas
Ren
on. And
killed
they
the
didn't even
dragon
try to
nearby
help. Oh,
and left
these
the body
niggas
to
ain't
rot
shit.
instead of properly disposing of it. Monsters had gathered around its corpse, and the decomposing body rendered the entire area toxic. Naofumi's party sent out for the corpse, which resurrects into a zombie dragon. During their fight, the dragon swallows Philo, seemingly killing her, which triggers Naofumi's despair and rage to activate his cursed Rage Shield. Naofumi repels the dragon's attacks with strong defense and passive flames at the cost of losing his composure. When Naofumi recovers, he realizes Raphtalia was burned, trying to bring him to his senses. To their surprise, Philo bursts out of the dragon's belly, having eaten the internal crystal, empowering it. Philo finds another crystal and gives it to Naofumi, but his level isn't high enough to use the shield it unlocks. Back at the village, Naofumi learns Raphtalia's wounds from the cursed shield can only be cured with high-grade holy water, and regrets having put his companions in trouble. Determined to make himself and his party
First off, why
stronger,
the fuck
Naofumi's
she
party
trying to
heads to
stop
the
him?
capital for
You
holy
should just
water
let
to
that
heal
nigga
Raphtalia,
spaz
and
out.
comes
He
across
coulda
a
killed that
blue-haired
whole
girl
little
named
shit
Melty
did.
with some Philolials. Melty quickly befriends Philo, who brings Melty to Naofumi, asking to accompany them to the capital. Once there, Philo and Melty go their own ways as Naofumi and Raphtalia go to the church.
Can she
The clergy attempt to
fly?
scam Naofumi with their lowest
Like,
quality holy
in her
water. But the Pope
human-like
quarterly
form
grants
with the
Naofumi
wings?
high-grade, pure holy water.
Can
when the
she
hero
fly
points
with
out the
that?
issue. In the town square, Motoyasu attacks Naofumi having learned about Philo, demanding her freedom from being his slave. Unaware, Philo is Naofumi's Philolial. Motoyasu starts attacking with reckless abandon as mind permits it, but Melty arrives to order them to stop as Philo, remembering Motoyasu's insults, transforms and kicks him away. Meeting at Erhard's shop, Melty explains to Naofumi's party that she is the second princess, who was made heiress apparent by Morelia, due to her older sister Malty's toxic personality. Before she can continue, Naofumi states his distrust towards the royal family and dismisses her. Dejected, Melty goes to her father to talk as Naofumi is met by a small party wishing to join after he saved Loot Village, their hometown. Naofumi will only allow it if they pay 150 silver coins to prove their loyalty. As Raphtalia and Philo are ready for class upgrades, level cap increases, a royal decree forbids the Shield Heroes party from using Melromak's Dragon Hourglass. On advice by Belokis, Naofumi plans to head for neighboring Shield Frieden for their Hourglass, but the next wave will strike before they reach it. While scouting towns, Naofumi happens upon starving refugees, who fled a revolution
One second,
started
chat.
by Itsuki. Returning for the next wave, Naofumi encounters Ren and Itsuki, who accuse him of stealing their rewards. Naofumi explains Itsuki's revolution only put a new government just as corrupt as the old
Well,
one, and Ren, leaving
kinda
the
leave
slain
and
dragon's corpse
close this
behind,
video.
caused a plague. Ren sees Raphtalian's wounds and believes him, but Itsuki remains adamant that Naofumi is lying. Later, Erhard gives Naofumi upgraded armor and the loot party returns with 150 silvers. Naofumi has them buy better gear with the money, accepting them. The next wave is 24 hours away, equipping Raphtalia and Philo and annexing the loot party with Knight Ake as their captain. The wave starts and Ake's unit helps civilians as Naofumi's party kills monsters. Seeing an elderly woman who Naofumi healed during his travels easily defeat monsters, she reveals herself to be a retired adventurer. After 3 hours, Naofumi worries about the other heroes' progress, so he leaves Ake's party with the elderly woman to protect the civilians. Finding the other hero parties haphazardly attacking a Dutchman, Naofumi chastises their inattention, having Raphtalia expose the hidden boss, a massive Soul Eater. Naofumi resorts to using his cursed shield, but the zombie dragon soul inhabiting the shield is furious for Ren killing it, and Naofumi incorporating it into his gear. The attempted takeover sends Naofumi and Philo into a fury against the Soul Eater, but Naofumi remembers his mission and regains control to use a new power for the win.
When that
Iron
shit gonna
Maiden.
take over
Victorious,
him? Like,
Naofumi
damn.
returns to normal, but a second
This
Soul
nigga wanna
Eater
go
appears
back to
and is
being a-
easily
Nigga,
killed by
let
a
that
new
shit-
enemy, Glass, a woman in a black kimono wielding
Let the
twin
beast
bladed
come out,
war
nigga.
fans. The true enemy of this wave. Glass easily defeats the other 3 hero parties and challenges Naofumi's party. Even against Naofumi's many shields with Raphtalia and Philo's support, they can't land a single blow. Calling for a tactical retreat, Glass attempts long-range attacks but retreats when the wave's time limit hits, ending in a stalemate. After the battle, Naofumi ponders the wave's time limits and their true purpose when he's summoned back to the castle. Altcray demands he reveal the secret behind his abilities, but Naofumi demands Altcray kneel and beg. Enraged, Altcray attempts to extort Philo and Raphtalia, but Naofumi threatens him with a worse outcome should he try. As he leaves, a woman covertly warns Naofumi about the church conspiring against him. Naofumi notes her outdated manner of speech. Melty attempts to convince her father to reconcile with Naofumi, but Malty exacerbates the situation. After Erhard provides them with travel gear and supplies,
That
Naofumi's
bitch is
party
so
departs
evil.
to Shield Freedom.
I hate that
where
bitch.
Raphtalia
I'm
and
already
Philos
starting to
pass
hate them
ups.
bitches. I ain't
While
even
en
watched
route,
that
they are
actual show.
met by Melty,
She just
who wants Naofumi to
ugh.
reconcile with Altcray. Naofumi senses something is wrong moments before one of Melty's bodyguards attempts to assassinate her, but Naofumi protects her. Seeing Naofumi protect Melty, the attacking knights accuse him of taking her hostage, but are repelled. Naofumi
Is
finds
that
the
both of
pendant
his
on a guard
daughters?
of the Church of Three Heroes, which hates the shield. At the royal palace, wizards edit the recording of Naofumi kidnapping Melty, making him a fugitive. Planning to protect Melty to fix their situation, Naofumi's party hiked the mountains to reach nearby Siltveld. At night, a loose rock alerts nearby guards, and the other three heroes. As Melty explains the situation, Malty orders they ignore her, claiming Naofumi has a brainwashing shield. Despite lack of evidence, the heroes fall for this. Naofumi attempts to
That
flee with
bitch.
Melty, but Motoyasu uses a magic shackle to stop Philo. After Naofumi resorts to using his rage
That
shield
bitch
to
is
escape,
so
Itsuki
evil.
and Ren begin to doubt Mine when she opened the attacks without regard for Melty's safety. Naofumi gives Ren the church pendant, calling for an investigation as he departs. One of Morelia's emissaries helps remove Philo's shackle, and relays Morelia's desire to meet Naofumi. Naofumi realizes the emissary is the same woman who warned him about the church. Naofumi, however, decides to keep heading for Siltveld, since meeting Morelia would take them in the opposite direction. Meanwhile, Mine sends a forest fire to flush Naofumi out. Mine's knights start a forest fire to force out Naofumi's party. The next morning, the border to Siltveld is closed by royal decree, leaving Naofumi no choice but to meet Morelia. As they travel, Melty knows nobleman Van Reichnott, who rules the area.
How the fuck do
and
they
by
be reading that
surprise, they're
shit?
met by him.
How the fuck do you read a
Bringing them
map?
to his manor, Reichnott is
Well,
informed of their
I know how to
situation
navigate.
and invites them to stay
What
the
the
night.
fuck? How the
Come
fuck do
dawn,
you
Reichnott is arrested
tell?
while the maids hide Naofumi and Raphtalia in the kitchen pantry, and Melty distracts the knights. Their leader, nobleman idol Rabier, arrives and escorts Melty to his manor. Seeing Raphtalia's anxiety with Rabier, Naofumi calms her to let Melty's plan work. Once Rabier leaves, Naofumi finds Philo, and they make their way to Rabier's estate. As demi-humans loyal to Reichnott besiege the gates for his release, Naofumi uses this to infiltrate the castle, where Reichnott is tortured in front of Melty for Rabier's amusement. Naofumi manages to enter the manor and rescue Melty and Reichnott. Raphtalia confronts Rabier, who pitifully begs for mercy. In a flashback, Raphtalia's home village is destroyed by the first wave, and the villagers are enslaved by Melromark troops. She and her best friend, Rifana, are sold to idol Rabier. Raphtalia ultimately breaks as Rifana dies from illness, and Rabier sells her to Belokus, leading her to Naofumi. Back in the present, remembering her past, Raphtalia is about to strike, when Naofumi reminds her of how much she's grown. Realizing killing Rabier would bring her no peace, she spares him. Insulted, Rabier fights
Shit, I
to
would've-
kill her, but using her mana sword, she wounds him, and he falls back out of a window. Helping Reichnott, Raphtalia guides them to the underground prison,
So did he die
finding
though?
demi-human survivors, including her old friend Keel. Raphtalia breaks down upon finding Rifana's remains, left in the cell to rot, believing she abandoned her. To restore her spirits, Naofumi admits that he finally started to trust again because of her, and how she saved him from darkness. Reassured, Raphtalia promises to go home someday to rebuild and give Rifana a proper burial. In the courtyard, a still-living Rabier frees a sealed-away ancient Tyrannosaurus-like dragon monster.
What the
which
fuck is
promptly
that?
kills him and heads for Naofumi.
Damn.
As Naofumi's party confronts the Rex dragon Rabier released, Melty sees Philo and the monster glow with the same light, deducing how to bait it to a large lake. There they fight the monster, but their attacks have no effect, until a massive Philolial Queen appears and easily defeats it. The Philolial Queen takes a human form, introducing herself as Vittoria, and spirits them to a Philolial sanctuary in faraway ruins. Naofumi asks Vittoria about Philo's true nature, and Vittoria answers Philo's growth is due to a hero raising her, and Naofumi informs her of his story. Frustrated by the hero's infighting, Vittoria informs Naofumi about the waves ravaging the entire world, not just Melromark. Vittoria has been protecting the other nations alone to fulfill the last wish of the hero who raised her, but knows she will soon perish. She urges Naofumi to make amends with the other heroes, but he refuses. Vittoria explains that if the heroes can't unite, she has no choice but to kill them so 4 new heroes can be summoned. Meanwhile, Ren and Itsuki follow Naofumi's lead to investigate the church, discovering a hidden library.
Do all four
Unaware, Melty is
heroes
observing
need to
them.
be
The
alive
next morning, Vittoria takes Melty hostage to coerce Naofumi to make
so
up with the
everything can
heroes.
stop?
To test his conviction, she fights Philo with both limited to human form. While outmatched, Philo is able to break Vittoria's magic defense. Satisfied, Vittoria names Philo as her successor, which grants her base stat increases. Vittoria force unlocks many Philolial shields for Naofumi, which she can't use yet. After everyone goes to sleep, she asks Naofumi to work with the other heroes, who still think him guilty of assault. Vittoria warns Naofumi that saving the world is far different from saving the people, and the heroes will eventually have to make that choice later. Additionally, Vittoria notes the heroes are still too weak to defeat the waves properly, and if they don't unite, she'll make good on her promise to kill them. She enhances Naofumi's armor to better resist the negative effects of the Rage Shield. Based on her actions and behavior, Naofumi deduces a previous shield hero raised Vittoria, but she can't remember after living for so long. In Melremark, Ren and Itsuki's parties find a hidden cave, but an attack from above collapses the cave. Vittoria takes Naofumi and his party to a place near one of the heroes so that he can start reconciling with them. Parting
How
ways,
old is
Naofumi's
she?
party arrives
First
at an
off, wait a
outpost where they
fucking
meet
minute.
Motoyasu, with whom Naofumi attempts to reason with, but Motoyasu refuses to listen, accusing Naofumi of killing Ren and Itsuki.
First off,
As
that
Naofumi
don't
tries
make
to
sense.
question him, Malty
So how
affirms
you
a church
got these
official found
people,
evidence
right?
against Naofumi. Their fight escalates into a full battle between Naofumi and Motoyasu's parties, with Naofumi's side winning despite the severe level gaps. Suddenly, Philo senses impending danger from above, and convinces Naofumi to use multiple shields to defend against a massive ray of light that soon after incinerates everything around them. The attack was sent by the Pope Balmus and his followers, revealing he had ordered Ren and Itsuki's deaths as part of his plan to kill the false heroes and the princesses in order to overthrow the monarchy. Pope
Hey,
Balmus
yo,
then
what
draws
the
a
fuck?
magical
Hey, this
sword
nigga-
and prepares to
you know,
attack both
This
parties.
nigga just
Melty
sick.
recognizes Pope Balmus wields an ancient weapon that replicates all the 4 cardinal weapons, supposedly lost long ago. Naofumi and Motoyasu are unable to breach the weapon's defenses, as it is powered by hundreds of Balmus's loyalists. Just then, Ren and Itsuki appear to help, explaining they were rescued by Morelia's special
Alright.
forces, the Shadows.
Chat,
Old Spice pomade, medium hold, no shine.
we are going
That's
to
right.
finish this later, chat. Fuck! I put it in wrong, Paul.
Oh, this is an 80-pound wheel of Parmesan cheese. I actually get these pretty often. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a quick flaming bowl of cheese wheel pasta. Everybody's dream in life. I'd make this every day, but it's not exactly cheap. Thankfully, I have Honey. It's a super easy way to save tons of time and money online. It automatically searches the web for promo codes at tons of places you...
Sorry, chat. See ya.